The social divide that exists in this country threatens the quality of life for all of us. And if we don't act with a sense of urgency, we'll see more George Floyds, more protests, more political divide, and more of our children left behind. Inclusion, diversity, equity, these are the values that form the foundation of a compassionate society. Unfortunately, these are the very values that our nation and our community here in Cleveland have grappled with for generations. It's a struggle that has only intensified over the past year and a half. We should also keep in mind that it's not just a social issue. It's an economic competitiveness issue as well. We can't compete as a company, as a city, or as a country without including everyone. But at times like these, I'm also reminded of the impact that a small group of dedicated individuals can make, which is why I agreed to accept this award. For anyone who knows me, you know that I don't like accepting rewards or recognition, especially when we have so much work remaining. But I agreed to accept this award in hopes that my words would help move some of you, even one of you, to act. To take the time to get educated on the vast needs in our community and to engage in moving our city towards the more compassionate society we all want. And if I could address the business community for a minute, I'm asking that you find a way to do more. To give as much thought to what you can do to lift up those in need of your help as you do to delivering for your owners. We can set the example in the way we run our companies. We can create job opportunities for those who've been left behind. We can add our voices to the political debate and demand that our politicians create a positive investment environment while also addressing the structural issues that prevent too many from participating in our economic prosperity. And we can support organizations like the Diversity Center by following their lead. The Diversity Center team is not waiting another year, another week, not even another day to address a problem that has plagued our city for decades. And it's because of their efforts that I remain hopeful that we will one day finally tackle systemic racism in our city and create the diverse, inclusive community that people deserve. At Eaton, we're proud to support the work of the Diversity Center. Eaton's mission is to improve the quality of life of the people around us. This is a commitment that applies to all people everywhere and is not limited by race, ethnicity, gender, or politics. It's a commitment that begins with our people, and it's on their behalf that I accept this award tonight. At Eaton, we believe that we have a responsibility to society and to all the communities where we operate. And it's a responsibility we take seriously. So when the pandemic hit, it soon became clear that people of color and the poor were being disproportionately affected by this terrible crisis. We knew we needed to act. And we have lots of great examples of how our team made a difference in the lives of those in need, and that could easily be recognized here tonight. But it also encouraged me to get more personally involved. So I partnered with Mayor Jackson, Bill Lacey, Fred Nance, and others in the community, including the Cleveland Browns, to commit to closing the digital divide in Cleveland. For those of you not aware, Cleveland was voted the worst connected large city in the US. Some 30% of our residents don't have access to high-speed internet connections. And over the past several months, we've made good progress on closing the digital divide. But there's still so much more work to be done. And beyond this effort, there's much more we must do to eliminate the many other inequities affecting our community. And we know we're not alone. While Cleveland tends to experience greater extremes, our nation is facing the same equity challenges. And at this moment, much of this debate is playing out on a national stage. I, for one, am encouraged. Not because we've made progress, but because we're finally having the debate that needs to be had. We're finally coming to terms with our history, with the pitfalls in our democracy and our form of capitalism, and debating if we want to create a different future. I'm also proud to be a member of the Business Roundtable and am encouraged by their decision a few years ago to change the stated purpose of a corporation to include all stakeholders, including the communities where we operate. The BRT acknowledged that we can't have strong, sustainable companies without strong communities. Our growth as a nation will continue to be limited as long as any group is kept from fully contributing to our economy and to our communities. So our work can't stop. Because the actions we take in the next few weeks and months to come will determine if we have the will to address many of the long-standing inequities in our society. You know, Albert Einstein said, "Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile." This may be a bit of an overreach, but it's certainly a statement that should make one stop and think. We're at a moment in history where we must all decide. Are we living our lives only for ourselves, for the benefit of our friends and family, for people who are like us? Are we doing enough to help those in need? Are we doing enough for the good of all of humanity? And just because it's a big, difficult problem, it doesn't mean that we can't make a difference. Even if only one person at a time, one problem at a time, one community at a time. Because it's only when someone decides that they care enough to make a personal difference by lifting up others that we'll make progress as a nation. Thank you.